Hello everyone, it is Monday and welcome back to my channel. We are yet doing another episode of my magical plant series. Today we are talking about lavender, and I have two species of lavender that I want to talk about. French lavender, Lavendula stoicus, and English lavender, Lavendula augustifolia. I think I said that right. Latin is not easy, so bear with me. So the French lavender is the one that is most used, and that's this guy in this potted plant right here. And then the English Lavendula augustifolia right here is in ground right here. And I use both, one more than the other, but I tend to use both when I can. The folk names of lavender are elf leaf, nard, nardus, spike, and true lavender. The gender is masculine. The planet is Mercury. The element is air, and the day of the week most potent is Wednesday, of course, knowing that the planet is Mercury. So folklore, I had so much fun finding the folklore for this plant. So I have lots to read today. So I think that this is my favorite part. It's digging up the lore on these plants, because I feel like, and I've said this before, that when you learn the folklore on how these plants were used, you not only find out hints on the magical uses of the plant, but you also find out the medicinal uses of the plants. And I just find that so fascinating. I think when we just look up the magical correspondences or the medicinal properties, we lose out on the why. And it's so important to find out why, not just lavenders for calming or lavenders for anti-anxiety, but why? You know, I got kicked out of youth group in church for asking why. You know, I don't just want to know what it's for. I want to know why. So let's dig into the why. So clothing rubbed with the lavender buds or placed in closed drawers or hung in wardrobes were thought to attract love. So also a piece of paper on which one rubbed the flowers was excellent for writing love letters. So you would take these little buds and you would rub the paper or parchment, and you would write a love letter. And it was imbued with those loving energies. Why don't we still do that, right? So the fragrance of lavender was known to particularly attract men. So lavender water or lavender oil was worn by prostitutes for centuries to not only advertise their profession, but to attract customers as well. That makes sense, right? It just has that alluring scent. And we've talked about other herbs in my garden as well that did the same thing. I just find that so fascinating. Lavender has been known to protect against cruelty of a spouse in marriages. And in the Renaissance, it was believed that lavender, together with rosemary, if worn, would preserve a woman's chastity. Interesting. So people burnt bunches of dried lavender and left them to smolder in sick rooms to help fumigate the room. So what does this tell you, right? Purification and healing, right? That it not only would purify that room and kind of get rid of that illness, but it also would help heal. Midwives gave pregnant women bunches of lavender during labor, and they would grip the sprigs and it would release the scent and give them courage. Again, why don't we still do this, right? And in Mediterranean lands, people would avoid sunstroke by wearing lavender. They would weave it into their hats. Interesting, right? Now, this one last tidbit in the folklore, Abbess Hildegard of Bingen mixed lavender and brandy and gin to make a migraine cure. So guess what is in my recipe for headache and migraine tea? Lavender. So there you go. So let's move on to the magical properties. It has long been used for love spells and sachets. So we learned that with the rubbing the buds. We've got a jet going over there. I'm going to let it go. I can't compete with that. So we know that from the rubbing the buds on the paper and keeping lavender in wardrobes and drawers. Flowers are burned and smoldered to induce sleep and rest. Scattered around the home to maintain peace after arguments or quarrels. So you could burn lavender incense after arguments or after negative energy to kind of keep the peace. It can be worn either the flower or in essential oil form to guard against the evil eye. You can add it to purification baths. You could put it in a little muslin drawstring. Hi, moth. You could put it in, as a little bath tea. Drop it in your bath, or hang it from your spigot in your shower to make it into a purification bath. Or you could rub it as in a muslin bag. You could rub it as a shower scrubby for purification. It can aid in spell work for clarity, joy, and protection. It can boost mood and is a great spell booster for attraction and longevity for any working. So I love that. Let's move on to medicinal properties. It is an excellent pain reliever for headaches, joint and muscle aches, especially when mixed with peppermint. It is great for skin conditions like acne, eczema, fungal infections, minor cuts and scrapes when diluted. You don't want to put straight essential oil. It's just, there comes another one. I must just pick a wrong time of day to do this. I wanted to wait till it was warming up. It was a little too cold early this morning. But you want to dilute it with a carrier oil, because it's a little too strong to put directly on those skin conditions. So you want to use like a carrier oil, like almond oil, grapeseed, olive oil, almond oil, stuff like that. It is effective in calming the nervous system, so it may help with stress and sleep disorders. I'm just going to talk loud. When used topically on the scalp, it may help prevent hair loss and has even been known in the treatment of hair lice when combined with tea tree oil. And there's actually some products out there on the market that sell lavender and tea tree scalp conditioners that you can buy. I believe Paul Mitchell has a lavender tea tree moisturizing scalp treatment for really like dry, itchy scalp. I really like to use that because I have really dry scalp. Don't have lice, but it's for very, very dry scalp. So, my personal uses. Like I said, I use it in my headache and migraine tea. I use it in my sleepy time tea. I use it in a purification incense. I have a whole list of products that I use it in. It goes in my arnica muscle relief. It goes in my calendula wound heal for its antibacterial and antifungal use. So it's self-preservation. So it is really nice because I know if I use it, it's going to preserve really well. I also use it in my skull cap headache release. I use it in my bug off oil, my bug off spray, my protection oil, my manifestation oil, my shoe fly oil, and my calming bath salts, which my beauty ambassador Doreen helps create that. It's also in my Sweet Dreams tea. It's also in my Fuck Off Pain specialty tea. But really, I use lavender in almost everything I use. If I am doing a purification bath, it always goes in there. If I do my Mullen Wrap Triple Protection smoke bundle, I will put an entire stalk right in the middle of that as I roll it up along with mugwort and sage. Yeah, the uses are many. I don't think there's very many things I won't use lavender in. So how do you use lavender? How do you use lavender in your magical practice? How do you use lavender medicinally? Let's start a conversation down in the comments. Let me know. I'm always looking to expand, this wonderful plant ally. I use it a lot, but like I'm always open to learning how to use it more, because I think that a lot of people just use it for calming. And it's underused because there's so many things that it can be utilized for and worked with for, that I think you're missing out if you don't use this wonderful smelling and wonderful way of putting it into your practice. So let's get that conversation started. So please like this video, subscribe if you want to see more of me, and we're about halfway around the circle. And then I thought I would go ahead and continue this tradition and then move into the herbs that I can't grow and that I still utilize in my practice when I buy organic. So if you think that sounds like a great idea, stay tuned for that. That's coming as we get into the winter months. I'm not going to want to be outside. Um, so if you'd like to purchase any of my herbal products or sign up for a class or a service, please go to my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com. Please use the code word veiled, VEILED, all caps, to get free shipping on all my herbal products. And sign up for a class, or just hit me up with any questions there. And share these videos. Get people watching my channel. There's so much that I want to share with the world. So get it out there. Share with a friend. Share with a colleague or a family member. I'm always wanting to spread the word. So that's all I have for you for now. And remember, live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.